Hello, it's I, Ring IQ, your superior, faster, smarter, and better than you. In every way that you can imagine, I am better. In every realm and every arena, I am better. Here to talk to you on this glorious American afternoon and American evening in the United Kingdom. All right, I'm gonna wait for the list to populate. I was gonna go live later, and I still might. Got some things I got to do in the evening. The next episode of the relay is already done, and I will upload it immediately after this live has ended. Ralph, what it do? What it do? Yeah, Rivera versus Martin. I like that fight. I noticed that most of the praise that I see, because I see a lot of people talking about Frank Martin, and I feel like that has more to do with his association of Spence than anything that he's actually done. Because I looked at him and I wasn't, blown away. He looks like a solid young guy, semi-solid young guy. I wasn't blown away by what I saw in the Marinez fight. There seemed like there were some deficiencies there that could backfire. If he can beat Michel Rivera, I will be impressed because Michel Rivera, he's in a similar place in his career. He shows about the same ability and the same ceiling as Frank Martin. So this is a very good fight. This will help to separate them. I have said before, I'm kind of leaning towards Rivera because I didn't like how many right hands I saw Frank Martin eating in the Marinez fight. Marinez not being a power guy, he wasn't really able to do a lot of damage with those right hands. But a more interesting puncher can exploit that deficiency that Marinez was getting his lead foot on the outside of Frank Martin's lead foot, and because of that, he was able to pop him with a lot of backhands. And you don't want that if the guy's a southpaw. Ideally, if the guy's a southpaw, you don't want him eating right hands. And he ate a lot of right hands in that fight. So I'm kind of leaning towards Rivera, though I don't have a horse in the race. I'm not overly high on either fighter. I've just seen Rivera hasn't looked bad. He looks to have a few limitations. He's a bit of a 1-2 fighter. Mid-range to inside, I wonder how good he is. He's good for the weight, good length, good dimensions, good height, good reach, but he does seem like a 1-2 fighter, a fighter who needs space to get off his best punches, which are his straight punches. And as long as he can keep the guy there at the end of the jab, he can generate an interesting power. That's consistent with a lot of fighters that are long for their weight, that they're long or tall for their weight. They need room, kind of like Christina Hammer at 160, that as long as she can keep you at the end of the jab, she'll be all right. But if you slip the jab and get past the jab, she's going to be in big trouble. It's that kind of dichotomy that Michel Rivera, he looks all right if he can keep the guy at the end of the jab. But if the guy makes it past the jab, what's he going to do? How's he going to compensate? Is he going to take a half step back? Is he going to shift and change the angle of attack? Because his best punches really do seem to be his straight punches. I was goody Mr. T, was goody Killy, was goody Danny, Don Juan, XMB, Ralph. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, was goody Boxing Classics. You know what I mean? Deadly Punches, Abner Ortega, we out here. And yeah, now, I got my driving glasses on. I actually wear these to drive, and I'm not driving right now, so. It's just a white t-shirt. Shit. That's my favorite scene in Superman 3. He has the fight with himself at the junkyard, and he finally gets control of the situation. And John Williams, man, his scores, man, just guy's amazing, bro. I'm a big movie guy. That score, that Superman score, is from John Williams. I believe he also did the Batman theme, Michael Keaton's Batman theme. I believe that was him. Tim Burton's Batman, which is a more watered down, cartoony version of Batman than the source material. Batman was always a very dark comic book. It's about an orphaned child who has some psychotic tendencies, and a misplaced sense of justice. And even though he is the good guy, he's depicted as such in the comic books. He has his own issues. What's goody Sawab? What's goody Toby? I look like Benavidez's father. Yo, don't say that. I don't look like that dude. I look way better than that dude. That dude can't pull no broads. Fuck out of here. I look way better than that dude. First of all, no, he did not do Batman. He didn't do Batman, bro? You sure John Williams didn't do Batman? That's the guy from Oingo Boingo, Jules. I don't kill. I make them wish they were dead. Yeah, I think that was John Williams, bro. Salamu Salaikum salam, Sawab. You in Dubai? What you doing in Dubai? You went to Dubai, baby? You went to Dubai, baby? Is Errol there? Is he sober? Yeah. Honestly, I'm more of a DC guy. I'm more of a DC guy because in DC, the centerpiece of the story is not necessarily the fights or the fighters' powers. The centerpiece is really the ethical dilemmas that they're faced with. With Superman, a lot of people always complained that he was OP, but no, he's not OP. It's because the drama of it is what he does with the power, what he does with the abilities that he has, and at what point does he cross the line between trying to help people and playing God. That's really the focus of, at least that's what I always got from it. At what point does he cross that line? And you know, that's what I always took away from it. With Batman, it was a very similar dichotomy, you know, that he can't abide by the rules because abiding by the rules, you know, look what happened to his parents. Clearly there's a fallacy in the system and a flaw, and playing by the rules just doesn't get the job done. But how far over the deep end do you go before you become the villain? That's what I always got from Batman, you know? I like Marvel. I used to collect both when I was a kid. I had lots of comics when I was a kid. And I had a bunch of Marvel and DC comics, but for me, DC is a little bit more, the stories are a little bit more mature. With Marvel, it's all about character flaws. You know, like Spider-Man was selfish in one moment, and that got his uncle killed. And that's why he abides by great power, great responsibility, yada, yada, yada. The X-Men are essentially fighting for civil rights. That's what they are. They're civil activists, basically fighting on their own behalf. Iron Man is trying to clean up a mess that his company inadvertently made, dealing arms under the table and being warmongers. So you can kind of see that the recurring theme in Marvel is cleaning up your own mess. That's kind of what it is, cleaning up your own mess. You know? So yeah, man, you know, we got Martin versus, and I am going to go live for that fight. I am going to be live on Saturday night for Martin versus Rivera. Also, you know, there's a lot of talk about Inui right now, which is really what made me go live. Let me take this. So, me and the wife sharing the bed of Atlantis in the Palm at Dubai. You went to Dubai, baby? You went to Dubai? And, what's goody, Danny? Inui, there's a lot of talk about Inui right now. And there's a faction of the fighting community, the fight fan community, that is jealous of the praise that he's receiving as of late. 2 to 3 years ago, these individuals were largely ignorant to Inui and what he was already doing. That 2 or 3 years ago, he was already a very accomplished fighter. For those of you that have been with Ring IQ for a while, you'll know that we didn't just now start talking about Inui. We've been talking about Inui for approximately, about say 4 years. You can go to videos from 4 years ago. You know, we're not new to Inui here on this channel. And how for a very young guy, a very young man, he's only 29, he's very accomplished. He's a 3-division champion, Ring Magazine, Lineal, Undisputed. and he's only 29. He made history for himself, his legacy, not just the division, not just boxing, but for Japan as a whole, because I believe that he's their first undisputed champion in the four belt era, emphasis on that. But also, he's part of a short list of Japanese fighters that actually managed to become an undisputed champion overall. There are not that many. If you think that there's a lot of champions, there are even less unified champions, and there are even less undisputed champions, and there are even less undisputed champions that hail from Japan. So he really did something special for that boxing scene and the Japanese boxing culture as a whole. It's very special that he was able to do that. You watching the fights tonight? Yeah, I might. It depends on when I get home. It depends on when I get home because I want to watch Mary Spencer, but it does depend on when I get home. And I want to interview Mary Spencer. I was just talking to Sulem, and I told Sulem that the fighters I like make me nervous. Like when I interviewed Chantel Cameron, I got nervous. When I interviewed Natasha, I still get nervous when I interview Natasha Jonas because those are the fighters I like. I'm a fan of them, so I get starstruck. Who else? Who's another one that made me really, really fucking star? Oh, Sinicia. I got starstruck when I spoke to Sinicia. Like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like you get starstruck because you see them on TV and you read about them. And then when you're talking to them, it's like, oh shit, you're a real person. You know what I mean? Oh, stop it. Stop it. I'm just different. I've met celebrities inadvertently and didn't get starstruck. Like I met a couple of people, well-known actors, and I didn't get starstruck because I wasn't high on them. You know what I mean? But because I'm so big on boxing and I watch so much boxing, I get starstruck. You know what I mean? Because you forget. What's goody, coach? Well, see, I had been corresponding with that particular fighter for a very long time, so I didn't necessarily get starstruck because I had already corresponded with them for such a long time. I don't think Wood versus Lara is going to happen, to be real with you. I don't. Fiscally, it makes no sense. If you're Lee Wood and you just got elevated to full champion, maybe that made a little bit of sense before, but it doesn't make any sense now. You know what makes sense now? Josh Warrington off a loss in the UK, in Nottingham or Leeds, and you'll make a lot of money with that because Josh Warrington has a lot of fans that still support him. And Mo Williams, he said the same thing I said. That fight could have gone either way. If you watch the interview he did, I think it was either with Boxing UK or ID Boxing, he said the same thing I said, that, you know, where people thought it was a landslide for Lopez. Look, I didn't see that. I saw rounds that were open to interpretation because a lot of what Lopez was doing was getting blocked. A lot of it was getting countered. Josh Warrington was catching and shooting in the beginning. You know, he'll wait for a shot to land, put something out there. And, you know what I mean? Alicia Baumgartner gets you starstruck. A little bit, but it's because I'm happy for the fighter. You know what I mean? I do get starstruck, but it's because I'm happy for the fighter. That I said, you know, if they give this fighter a chance, if they give the fighter a platform, they'll do very well. They can take it to another level. And that's more or less what's happening because I'm an alien, because I'm psychic, because I know things that regular people don't know. It's nice to watch that play out and unfold because I am smarter than you, faster than you, and stronger. I do think 100 steps ahead at times. I don't like vulgar displays of power, but these are in my ability to do because I am an alien. I arrived here many, many years ago, and it's a fun little planet, a fun little blue planet. It's very fun. It's very fun. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know, a lot of people are talking about Inui right now. Fury retired, then came back again, and he's still causing chaos in the heavyweight division. You know, with Fury, I guess it just boils down to what kind of person you are. Because I look at a lot of the things that he does as plain old opportunism, and I don't respect a lot of that stuff. You know, like that's just me, but to somebody else, they might be entertained by it. You know, they might think it's funny or fun or entertaining, but We're all different people, and I think that how you interpret Fury really depends on what your core values are. Because I see an opportunist, I see a liar, I see a double talker, and those are not character strengths to me. They're like, today you say this, and tomorrow you say that, and 1 minute it's this, 1 minute Usyk is a midget and he's too small, and the next minute, no, George Foreman was 6. It's like, what's wrong with you? You have a problem? What's the matter with you? So I'm not big on the guy, to be honest. Is he a great boxer? Oh yeah, I'll say that in a minute. Yeah, he's a great boxer, but seems like a shit human being, to be real. People are people. Canelo is serious until you joke with him. Then he loosens up. His wife and mine get along well enough at Pebble Beach. Oh shit. Yeah, I've been chilling, Warp Speed. You met Canelio? You met Canelio's wife? That's what's up. And yeah, what really motivated me to go live is the recent talk of pound for pound and Inui, and how that concept, it still escapes a lot of people, no matter how many times you explain it, that pound for pound is not about size. It's not about being bigger than another guy. It's not. And a bigger guy beating a smaller guy is actually the weakest testament to what pound for pound is. Because pound for pound is about skill, saying that even though this fighter is smaller and would likely lose in a real life setting, that's not because he's a bad boxer. That's just because this guy's bigger. That being bigger doesn't necessarily make one boxer a better boxer than another. It's the difference between throwing a lazy jab and a proper jab, and knowing how to set up your backhand, and knowing how to feint, and situational awareness, and creating opportunities, or finding holes in the guard to put punches, or getting a guy to look at this hand so he doesn't see this one coming, or where your feet are, positioning where you are in the ring relative to the opponent, or using the ring to walk the opponent into punches. These are skills. These are applied sciences. And like any science that is a science, in a controlled experiment, it works. The evidence is there of skill. They call it the sweet science. And a part of what makes science science is, in a controlled environment, when you apply the science, you're going to get a certain result. Well, that applies to boxing. The good boxers from the not so good boxers, the pound for pound boxers, so on and so forth. And how pound for pound is not about eye tests. No, it's not. Unless you Ray Arcel, a Jack Blackburn, a Customato, don't tell me about your eye test. I don't give a fuck about your eye test. If we're going to break it down in terms of eye tests, I only care about my own, not yours. But I'm not Customato. I'm not Ray Arcel. So I stick to the facts. Who have you actually fought? Who have you actually beat? Who were they at the time? Were they top 10 in the division? Were they a champion? How many titles have you unified? How many title defenses do you have? And how many divisions have you been a champion? Things like that are relevant to the pound for pound conversation when you know who the pound for pound fighters are. The poster child for the pound for pound is Sugar Ray Robinson. And what was he? A multi-weight champion. He didn't just stay at one weight, he moved up in weight. And he beat the top guys. Yeah, obviously there were people in between, but he beat the top guys. And that's how you really prove that, yeah, you're one of the best in the world. Not by looking good against overmatched opponents. The way you know a guy is a pound for pound fighter is if he can beat the good fighters. I shouldn't have to explain that, but periodically it comes up. Can you speak to the notion of Inui allegedly ducking Rigo? Because I've never heard this until Dante's Boxing Nation began discrediting his undisputed run to big up Devins. Well, first and foremost, anything that you get from that channel has fuck all to do with boxing. Dante's Boxing Nation is tantamount to a shock jock who says things for reactions. He caters to an audience that contributes nothing to the sport. So I don't worry about what he says. But as far as Rigo and Inui, Rigo used to be at 122, bro. At 122, his best fights and his title run, all of that stuff, that was at 122. At what point were Inui and him, you know what I mean? Only in recent years did Rigo move down to 118. And you see how he looked with Julio Ceja. You see how he looked with Laborio Solis. You see how he looked with John Riel Casimiro. You know what I mean? An argument like that relies on the principle that we're going to take all the context out of the actual fights that happened to run with this narrative that he knew he was ducking Rigo while he was unifying the division, fighting all the champions. He was ducking Rigo. You tried your hand at fighting a champion and lost. Nobody ducked Rigo. I mean, he knew he didn't duck Rigo. Leo Santa Cruz did. Carl Frampton did. Scott Quigg did. But not Inui. All right? And I don't like to focus too much on guys like Dante because that's a person that doesn't have a conscience. He uses certain agendas and familiar themes in American culture to try to create division amongst ethnicities and races in the sport. That's what he does, and he does it shamelessly. And I believe that for you to do that is because you're a fucking slime ball and a scumbag and you don't have a conscience, because you should be able to make money with content without constantly creating narratives. You know what I mean? Like it's obvious what he's doing, you know, and it's obvious why he does it. You know what I mean? And I don't believe he has a conscience. That is a person to me that when I see what they do for a little bit of change on the internet, it tells me you don't care about the issues because you're misappropriating them and injecting them in places where they don't belong. And I don't give a fuck. Fuck, imagine that. Inui ducked Rigo. Bruh, Rigo had to go life or death with Julio Ceja. All right? Life or death. All right? Rigo looked awful with Laborio Solis. He looked awful with John Riel Casimiro. He looked terrible. All right? The only reason you're saying that, you know why, and I know why. And it's because you're a hack. There are enough stories in the sport of boxing and enough history in the sport of boxing that if you're creative, you can shell out content of every kind and make money. But a lot of these guys are hacks. A lot of these guys don't have no talent. What they do know how to do is misappropriate issues to play on familiar themes so that people will watch their videos. It's not actually boxing news. Dante was one of the bozos that thought that Rigo was going to beat Loma. What did I tell you? How many years was he propagating that narrative? Go back to his old videos and watch them. He was one of the main ones. Yeah, Loma's ducking Rigo. So that when they finally fight, what happens? What I told you would happen. You're too old. You're too small. Your style, it's no good for his style. He throws a lot of punches. You don't throw a lot of punches. You work off the counter, and that works for you against certain kind of guys that ain't got no feet. But this guy got feet, and he's going to play with you. He's going to outclass you. And when they fought, all the shit I'm saying, you can look it up. So on my channel, you can look it up. My prediction for Rigo versus Loma. And you could go to the other channels and see what they were saying, you know? It's pathetic, man. Last 20 minutes. You don't know me and I don't know you, but man, I respect everything you just said. From Marvel to DC, but I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. My main thing is that, of course, there are issues in America. That goes without saying. But when you inject them in places where they don't belong for profit, clearly you don't care what the issues are. If you misappropriate them. How was Wilder choosing to fight Tyson Fury an issue? He chose that. Every single time they fought, he chose that. That was not imposed upon him. He didn't owe Tyson Fury a title shot. And when it blows up in its face, there are people that tried to turn it into something that it wasn't. That, no, dog, it's not what you're saying it is. What you're mad at is you've been hyping this guy up for a long time, and now you're embarrassed. Because what people said would happen, did happen. That's it. Has nothing to do with Fury's people and Wilder's. No. It's not nothing about that. Wilder chose to give him a title shot. Fury was not the mandatory challenger to Wilder's belt when they fought. You chose to give him a voluntary title shot, and it's likely because at that time, because I didn't start watching Fury all of a sudden. I've been watching him for a while. You can go back to the old videos where I talk about Fury. He wasn't known as a puncher. He was known as a boxer, and he was on the rebound off cocaine addiction and obesity, all right? That's why Wilder picked him, and ahead of the second fight, he said that himself. You were a bent house when I found you. I brought you back to big-time boxing. Yeah, you did. And it blew up in your fucking face. And that's why there's a lot of people that feel stupid because they thought that shit was going to be easy. That's what they thought. Dude blamed everything from Mark Breland, the gypsy magic, the egg weights, the shoehorns, the costumes and car batteries. And he was, it's like, bro, like, you're just a sore loser. It's a case of sour grapes at the most. It's a case of sour grapes. Should have fought Joshua. Maybe you would have won. Maybe you would have lost. But you yourself admitted they offered you more money for Joshua than what you made with Fury. It is what it is. I don't make up shit. I go by the facts. He said that, not me. He said that. They offered me more money for Joshua than Fury. What did you do? You kept fighting Fury. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the autopsy too. He didn't. Fury was not, when he fought him in that first fight, Fury was not one of the top guys. He had fought Sefer Seferi and Francesco Pianetta. He was not a champion. He hadn't fought a top 10 fighter since the Klitschko fight of close to 3 years prior. That was the last top 10 guy that he had fought because Sefer Seferi and Francesco Pianetta were tune-up fights. Those guys were not top-level heavyweights. He was rebuilding himself. And it was at this time that Wilder chose to give him a title shot. And it's not because he thought he was very good. It's because he thought it was an opportune time to fight him. Should sue Nebraska Commission for allowing that glove to continue to be used. They should have taken a break and swapped out immediately for a new glove. Well, how you react to that story depends on your threshold for common sense. He was going to get knocked out anyway. You probably thought that ahead of the fight. You're choosing to nitpick about a glove because you're enamored with Errol Spence. And we all know that you are, Ricky. Fuck, I look like worrying about the glove, bro. He was going to knock him out anyway. That was my prediction before the fight, way before the fight. When he gets knocked out, hey, let's nitpick about the gloves. That'll make us feel better. Let's complain. Shout out to my man Drew. No more spaces, and Inui is a hype job, right? Yeah, I don't know why Elon Musk did that shit, man. I like spaces. I don't use them that much, but I still like them, that they were there. And Elon shut them down, man. Bro, give me a break. Give me a break, bro. We know that you love Spence. You've admitted that yourself many times. As far as the fighter's safety, whatchamacallit already came forward and took the blame for the defective gloves. Everlast is a huge company. They already came forward and said, yeah, that's our fault due to a defective batch of leather that some of the gloves got made with. If beyond that, you're still rationalizing why this and why that, okay, bro, just go see where that gets you, bro. Just go see where that gets you. Because that's the type of waste of time shit that I don't bother with. Everlast already took the hit on that. They said that was our fault. Those gloves were defective as a result of a defective batch of leather that got used to make the gloves. If you're still whining after that, okay, write them a fucking letter, bro. Go write them a letter. Bro, you not no fucking Bud fan. I know who the fuck you are. I see your comments all the time. I don't understand guys like that. Maybe it's because they're younger than I am that they have so much energy to waste on just shenanigans and antics. You know what I mean? Appreciate Rick. You ain't had to do that, bro. Appreciate that, bro. Shout out to Rick. Shout out to Jessica. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's. Y'all know what time it is, B. And you keep, hit me up, man. You got my number. You got my number. Safety. People don't care. Let me ask you a question. Where was Ricky's concern for fighter safety when Yuriorkis Gamboa's shoes were falling apart in the middle of the fight? Where was this outcry of safety and concern for the fighter based on malfunctioning equipment or malfunctioning wardrobes? Gamboa's shoes were literally falling apart during the fight. That's probably why he got a torn Achilles tendon, because his fucking shoes were falling apart. I don't see people moaning about that. I don't moan about that. You know why? That's a stupid thing to complain about. It is. It's childish. It's stupid. And as you get older, you learn not to waste your time. That man's shoes was literally falling apart in the middle of the fight. Literally. Nobody stopped the fight. Gamboa wasn't begging for them to stop the fight, right? Congratulations that you're saying this now, that you're only bringing this up now after I brought it up. Congratulations, bro. I think you've convinced everybody here. We're all convinced, bro. I think there's something wrong with Spence fans. And I think that something has to be wrong with you to be a Spence fan. That's I do. I think something has to be wrong with you. A fighter, how could you be that high on a fighter that has fought once in the last 2 years? Once? What are you so excited about? Must be it ain't boxing, because he don't be boxing like that. He don't be fighting like that, so it can't be boxing. Can't wait to go on record after Insider Dinner. Hey man, you get on the inside, you get on the inside. I personally think that you have to have like a mental deficiency to be a Spence fan. I personally believe that. I've assembled a team of scientists to research. One is from Germany, one is from Finland, another is from India, and we're going to be studying this for the next 9 months in Antarctica to try to figure out what leads a human being to be so that they're a Spence fan. Because what are you a fan of? He doesn't even fight that much, bro. He don't even be fighting like that. The motherfuckers is ready to give up their pussy hole over some Errol Spence. I think that it's a lot of guys that wish they had a pussy to give to Spence. Oh, come on now. We've seen fighters wrap tape around their shoes after falling over themselves around the ring. I've assembled a team of scientists. One is Reed Richards. You might be familiar with that name, Reed Richards. I've assembled Reed Richards, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner. I'm going to be calling Bruce. And we're just going to put a couple of things together and try to figure out what's going on with those who are Spence fans. And just, is their frontal lobe underdeveloped? Is there anything going on the inside of the tissue, on the inside, that makes them the way that they are? We're going to find out. We're going to get to the bottom of this, because somebody has to. DC fired. Yeah, I'm not happy about that, bro. I'm not happy about that. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he was a great Superman. I'm very big on the source material, and I have to say, next to Christopher Reeves, that was the best Superman I've ever seen. As far as the source material, it was the best Superman I've ever seen. So I'm not happy about that, bro. I'm not. That James Gunn guy, man, throw him off a fucking bridge. And Spence fans, there's a level of cognitive dissonance that is in keeping with mental disease, that these are diseased individuals. psychologically because of the level of denial and cognitive dissonance. That's really what accents the disease. That by now it should be as obvious to you as it is to all of us what has been happening for the last 4 years. And yet you're still enamored with this fighter that barely even fights, which in turn begs the question, what exactly are you high on? He's not even that active. Is Spence's leg that injured from the second crash? Who fucking knows, bro? Who fucking knows? And really, who fucking cares? He's gonna fight Keith Thurman, and who cares, bro? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna check Twitter. I'm gonna check Twitter for a second. I'll be out here. You know what I'm saying? Pin this to the joint. Pin that. Check. You know what I mean? You know, there's so many people that are still bent out of shape that quality versus quantity both work. When Spence does fights, the fights are quality. It's simple. Spence needs Bud to be in the hall. Bud been there. I don't think that fighting Mikey Garcia was quality. I think that was opportunism. I don't think that Spence fighting Danny Garcia and telling everyone, I don't take tune-ups when Danny Garcia is a tune-up. That's what he is. That's what he was for Spence, is a tune-up. That's what he would be for Crawford, a tune-up. You can't put Danny in there with Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis will knock him out. You can't put Danny in there with Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz will knock him out. You can't put him in there with Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford will knock him out. It's a tune-up. Goddamn fucking tune-up. Will Dominican boxing be victorious tonight? That's not tonight, bro. That's tomorrow. You talking about Rivera and Martin? That's tomorrow, bro. That's Saturday, I think, isn't it? Tonight, Eye of the Tiger has a card in Canada. They have a card. Makhmudov is fighting. Hopefully I'll be home because I got some stuff I got to go do. So hopefully I'll be home to watch it. If I can, I guess I'll just have to watch it on my phone. But Danny's a tune-up, bro. Only Spence fans think that Danny is this. What great wins does he have as a welterweight? Because he's been there for almost a decade. It's been, 7 years at 147? 7 years. Close, 7, 8, around there. He didn't beat nobody. And all the guys that he did beat was from below 147. Red Catch, Granados, Vargas, Samuel Vargas. Not even somebody good like Jesse Vargas. Samuel Vargas. Guerrero. He sucks, man. Guy fucking sucks. Platano Power! Que lo que, manín? What's good, Jules in chat? Wish I could join you, but working. But until I'm tuning in, I got you, brother. I want to see Bud versus Jermell. I like that fight too, bro. I really do. But I don't think we're going to get it, to be real with you. I just don't. Look at what Derek James is already doing, bro. There's already 2 interviews out there. There's already 2 where he's blowing off the idea of the fight. And I'm not surprised. Like, y'all don't want to fight no fucking Terrence Crawford, bro. Y'all never wanted that fight. And I've been saying that shit ain't going to happen. Right now, it's just a spin job. It's just a matter of how many gymnastics, mental gymnastics, and somersaults can we do so that this isn't Errol's fault. That's all it is. That's where we are. And I don't have time for that, bro. James Franco is about to go to Japan and fight Kazuto Ioka. My kind of fighter. My kind of fight. I don't give a fuck about Errol, man. Unless we gonna trash him, I don't give a fuck about Errol, man. Fuck him. Retire. Go away. Go away. You fucked up the whole welterweight division. Go away. Because of you, Stanionis can't get a shot. Because of you, Jaron Ennis can't get a shot. Go away. Get the fuck out of here, bro. The fuck out of here. You done fucked up this whole division. You fucked up this whole fight. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Go race some horses. What's goody, Candace? Tired of that dude, bro. The welterweight division could be so much better if not for that dude. It could be so much better. Get that fucking guy out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. It's all his fault. Ennis can't get a shot because of this fucking guy. Stanionis can't get a shot because of this fucking guy. He's not fighting. He's not fighting all comers. You're not even fighting. You got bouts and let me fight Keith Thurman, who I said I was never gonna fight. TGB petitioned for that. They asked for that. They asked the WBA, yo, can he fight Keith Thurman instead of Stanionis? And the WBA said yes. Well, get that dude the fuck out of here. Get that fucking dude out of here. Thank you, Mansour, because I can't remember that either. I can't remember that. And they like to act like he didn't start that. He started all of that. That started with Errol. You don't run that. Man, get that fucking dude out of boxing, man. I'm getting James Franco, WBA champion, newly crowned, versus Kazuto Ioka, WBO champion, 4-division champion of Japan. Ain't worried about no. Get out of here, bro. Get that bullshit out of here, man. That fucking bullshit out of here. Inoue, Paul Butler, Donaire, Rodriguez. Unification matches, bro. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right? Inoue went undisputed. Devin went undisputed. Usyk went undisputed. Crawford went undisputed. Josh Taylor went undisputed. Clarissa Shields did it twice. Katie did it once. Chantel just did it. Franchon Cruz just did it. You the only motherfucking one. You the only motherfucking one. Everybody doing the shit except you. And you've been doing it longer than them. It's that season. It's that season. It's that season. And things like that. You know how many fucking undisputed champions there have been? Count. Inoue, Devin, Josh Taylor, Terrence Crawford, Alexander Usyk, Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron, Clarissa Shields, Franchon Cruz. Fucking Licia Baumgartner about to be undisputed before Errol. About to be everybody. This dude still and things like that. Well, I'm gonna go to my ranch, raise horses and things like that. You got time for that shit? Did you see the list of names Sonny Edwards posted about the flyweight division? I ain't worried about single fighters, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Sonny want the smoke. Sonny want to fight everything, bro. He want Julio. He want Bam. He want all the problems. That's why I like Sonny. Because he want all the different problems. I want the Bam problems. I want the Delakian problems. I want the Martinez problem. You want all the problems. I fucks with Sonny. He's a Capricorn, goddammit, so I know he's better than everybody. Pacquiao with Alex Ariza Peds beats Spence now. Bro, a lot of them guys from before beat Spence now, bro. A lot of them guys. You know what I'm saying? Jules, my guy, ES is just one more Ferrari flip. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Everybody getting the fucking job done, man. Everybody's getting the job done, bro. Everybody is. Undisputed, 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 up and down, all around. Jermel Charlo, undisputed. He fucking did it. And I believed in him, goddammit, and he fucking did it. Jermel, Devin, Inoue, Taylor, Crawford, Usyk, Franchon, Clarissa, Katie, Chantel, Lisa about to do it next year. And here's Errol. I'm gonna go to my ranch, raise fucking horses, and get horses. We got time for that shit. Motherfucker about to fight Keith Thurman. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck about that shit. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Double rainbow, double undisputed. Y que no me digan en la esquina, Errol Spence, que eso a mí me mortifica, Errol Spence. Y que no me digan en la esquina, Errol Spence. Remember that song? That's my song. Y que a mí abre los ojos, no sea bobo, no sea torpe, esa jugada, son rumores. A tu casa lleva, no, a mi casa llevo falda y tú llevas pantalones, no hagas caso, son rumores. Y que no me digan en la esquina, Errol Spence. Oh my God, when is that fucking guy gonna get out of boxing, bro? Just fucking retire, bro. Just fucking get the fuck out of here, man. This song got me down. Y que a mí no sea bobo. No, y que mía, shit, man. Yeah, man, like get that fucking guy out of here, man. Tired of hearing about that guy. Esta es la suerte de mi vida en Nueva York. You know what I'm saying? Get that fucking guy out of here, man. We're on the eve of undisputed at heavyweight. You know, we're one belt away from that. We're one fight away from that. And look at Errol. And rat horses and things like that. Things like that. Thought it was strap season. I got a fucking cowlick. Why do I always get fucking cowlicks? You know what that means? That means somebody's hate watching. That means somebody that don't like me is watching me right now. You see that? That's my spider senses. Look at the top of my head. Look at my hair. That's my spider senses. Remember when Thanos' ship arrived on Earth? That fucking whatchamacallit arm hair started rising? Somebody that don't like me, somebody hate watching me right now. And that's what that shit is right up there. You see that shit? That's what that shit is. History won't be kind to these. It's already starting, bro. It's already starting. My man Tim is in the hall. When Nonito Donaire retires, he's going to the hall. Believe that. He's a 4-division champion. He beat like 6 fucking champions. Tim is in the hall. Nonito is going in the hall. Motherfucking if Ioka retires, he's a 4-division champion. He been around many years. He going in the hall. Choco going in the hall. Estrada going in the hall. Motherfucking Bud gonna go in the hall. Why? 3-division, 2-time lineal, 2-time Ring Magazine, former undisputed, current reigning champion. You going in the hall. I've been said that. But when all you did was beat Danny and Sean and Brock, no, you're not going to the hall, bro. You got to do more than that. Easily Canelo going in the hall, bro. Canelo going in the hall. 4-division. Bro, this dude beat like 8 champions and took their belts. Undisputed. 2-time Ring Magazine. 2-time lineal. Y que no me digan en la esquina, Errol Spence. Que eso a mí me mortifica, Errol Spence. Broner has done, yo. Oh, shit. Y que no me digan en la esquina, Elbert. Yeah, of course you do, bro. Of course you do. Of course. Like, of course. Horses for horses, bro. Somebody's hate watching. And you feel like somebody's watching me. And I got no privacy. Oh. Yeah, man, I gotta get beat making equipment. I gotta get beat making equipment so I can make me el merengazo de Aerospins. El merengazo de 2023. Esta es la suerte de mi vida. You gonna see? Yo, I already know. I already know. Is Spence playing the waiting game until Crawford is old and beatable? Well, it could break down a few ways. There's another money fight that is emerging. I don't know if Errol and Derek, I don't know if they're going to want it, but it is a big fight and it is worth a lot of money. And that's the Virgil Ortiz fight. The problem with that fight is that Virgil's with Golden Boy and he fights on DAZN. If you did that fight in Texas, you'd get a big gate. And if you did it on pay-per-view, it would do better than the Sean Porter fight. It would do better than what the Thurman fight is about to do, and it would do better than the Danny Garcia fight because Virgil stands a legitimate chance of winning that fight. And I believe that the numbers could be comparable to what he did with Mikey, which would be his best numbers in a long time. But like I said, the problem with that is Virgil is a Golden Boy Promotions fighter. Are Golden Boy just going to send him over there to Showtime to be content for them? Or can they reach a deal where the deal structure is similar to Davis versus Ryan Garcia, you know? Most people feel that Errol's going to move up because Ennis is at his door and Ortiz is at his door. He's at his door. And if he wins, he comes closer to fighting him. But if Errol doesn't move up in weight, another money fight that's there for him is Virgil Ortiz. That's a big fight in Texas. You can do that at Jerry's house. That's a very big fight in Texas. They still want to cash ESG. Yeah. You know it. Top dog, this man a fool. Danny ain't never been knocked out. Who said he got knocked out is my question. That's what's wrong with a lot of y'all stupid, childish motherfuckers that live in somebody else's house. You got to make an argument around shit that ain't nobody say. That's the only way you can have something to say. Let me argue this shit that ain't nobody say because I cannot rebuttal what the guy actually said. And you think, you really think when you wrote that shit that somebody was like, yeah. Nobody agree with you, bro. Because nobody talking about what the fuck you talking about. Grow the fuck up. Learn how to talk like an adult. Act like an adult. Oh, 12-year-old ass shit. Yeah, let me argue this shit that ain't nobody say. Who the fuck said Danny got knocked out? Play the shit back, bro. What you got, earwax? You stupid? Silly ass motherfuckers, man. Watch my shit and keep my metrics up, motherfucker. Watch my shit. Watch my shit. Motherfucker trying to have an argument about some shit that no one said. No one said that Danny got knocked out. I said I would pick Jaron Ennis to knock him out. That's what I said. I said I would pick Virgil Ortiz to knock him out. Remember when I said that even though Sean's never been knocked out and Errol couldn't knock him out, I think Crawford is going to stop him. And remember when I told you how I thought he would stop him? That Kenny's going to pull him out. He's going to take too many clean shots and Kenny's going to pull him out. Remember that? Shit is childish. I don't have time for childish shit. I don't have patience for shit like that. Shit is childish. Man said Danny. What are you talking about, dog? Nobody said Danny got knocked out. And then if they were to make a fight with Danny and say Jaron Ennis, watch him make the same pick that I just made. Shit is childish. Jangar wants attention. Suck a dick, Jangar, and go play in traffic. You fucking loser. They love to count what Danny Rod Salka Garcia did at 140 as why he's a great win at 147 for Errol, but say what Bud did at 140 doesn't matter. That's exactly what they do. So we got to go all the way back 8 years ago so that Danny could be a good win at 147, even though 8 years ago he was at 140. But Crawford being undisputed at 140, oh, no, that don't matter. The same way it don't matter that Danny gave Victor Postal his lunch money. Please, Victor, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me, please. Gave him his lunch money. Couldn't buy fries. Apple juice. Shit is sick, man. Leave me alone, please. Please. You said you trying to fuck Ice Spice? I want to Bob Arum to get it in with Ice Spice. Man, she got a fat old ass. Ooh. Where's she from? The Bronx? Ice Spice? The redhead joint, right? The light skin, the red bone joint? Ooh. She look alright, man. She's a regular Fordham Road joint, but she look alright. Ice and Spice. I don't like her songs, though. They kind of suck, but kind of suck. Any motherfucker know the ESPN channel? Makhmadov is gonna be on ESPN Plus per the deal they have with ESPN. That's gonna be on ESPN Plus. She dating that kid who plays Lucas on Stranger Things. He don't know what to do with all that pussy. He don't know what to do with that. But hey, more power to him. I'm proud of him. Let's clap for him. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of that kid, man. You get in there, man. You eat her pussy and you eat her ass too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Eat that motherfucking. And make sure the carpet matches the drapes. Do you give Stanionis a shot with Ortiz? Before I talk about that fight, I really like that fight. I haven't had the chance to talk about the actual fight. I want to look at Stanionis' last 3 fights one more time. I do like Virgil for the fight, but it's hard to say that it's going to be easy. That kid can really fight, Stanionis. I just want to look at him maybe 3 more times before I get a feel how is it going to look, because he can punch a bit. I don't think he's stronger than Virgil, and I don't think he's as offensive as Virgil, but he's balanced, and I like that about him, that he's balanced. Oh, that's a hot take. I think they'll be Ortiz's first 12-rounder. Well, that's a text message. Who is texting me? Got some things I got to do. Got some stuff. Got some stuff with the fam I got to do. And, yeah, man, shit. You coming to the Virgil Ortiz fight? Bro, I wish I could, bro. I'm really trying to take my whole fam to the West Coast. Right now we on the East Coast. But I really want to go to the West, bro. Okay, on that note, ladies and germs, I'm going to have to close out the live. I have some errands that I have to run. They're very important. I am a family man after all. I will see you on the next live.